Welcome to the Get to Know broadcast. I am so glad that you're here. This is going to be a great show. I had a little bit of change of plans. Like, well, what's new? So, yes, I had to make some changes on the fly. That's what I did. I'm glad that you're here, though. I want to start out with this video, though, with the Chemo Buddies for Life, and this is the cancer community. I do support them. I'm a chemo buddy. I love the Chemo Buddies community. You can be a part of it if you would like. Let me just do this. Hang on, here we go.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for Life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
That is such a great video. You saw several people on that video that I've known for many years. Tamara Hunter, she was on the show. Carolyn Brown. Last week was Barbara Beckley. How awesome. We've got some more of our chemo buddies coming up and some of the Fab Five hosts. And I just want to say, you know, if you want support, I mean, I don't know anybody who hasn't been touched by cancer. And if you want some support, Chemo Buddies for Life is the group to go to. It is a not-for-profit organization. It's about healing with connections, and that's what we love. Because I know for myself, you know, I've been touched by cancer, and the thing about it is some people don't want to be around other people. They don't want to talk to other people. They want to isolate. That's kind of a difficult situation when you see that happen. But the thing is this, you can have the opportunity to get in a private community, and we have a lot of fun things that go on all the time. And Friday, and that's tonight, yeah, it is Love Friday, by the way. And who doesn't love Fridays? I do. Because it's Saturday tomorrow, right? Absolutely. Okay. So I told you I have to make some adjustments today, tonight, within a very short period of time, because our guest, Valeria, was unable to make it tonight. The broadcast was all set up, ready to go. You might have seen the event. I apologize for that, but I got the next best thing. And it is powerful. It is going to be a pre-recorded video. It's one that I did a few years back with Evan Carmichael. He is so powerful. I mean, I've seen him go from, you know, a couple 100,000 or a couple million, just a little bit less than 2 million followers, to almost 4 million followers. That's really awesome. But what he does is he teaches us about becoming an entrepreneur. And if you thought about doing your own business, I do. He does. He can educates you. I got a ton of education from him. I was so blessed to be able to have him on the show. And I'd like to play that for you. And, we can take notes. And after the show, it's only 27-minute video. Then I'll come back on. We can talk some more, take some questions, and answer some of those bugging things like, do you have a lack of confidence? Well, he'll tell you a lot of people do. It's normal. We're human, right? So it's okay to have that. But you know what? You don't want to just make a reason for, well, I can't do it yet because I need to do this first. Well, you know what? I've done some of that, but I had to stop doing that because you know what? You could do a video, you could do whatever you want to do. You could start your own business, and it will never start until you do something about it. That's the bottom line. And you know what? The first try, you might suck. I did, but that's okay. Just taking that step forward is you deserve a trophy for taking that step and trying to do the next right thing. And all we do is learn. We learn, we grow. If we make a bad choice and it didn't work out, well, okay, it didn't work out. But you know what? It's just one step closer to your success. And that's what we want. I want you to be successful. That's the whole reason for this show. It is the influential leadership show. I have these guests that come on, like Evan, and I'm not going to take a lot more time. I just want to put him on because he's so awesome. So I'm going to flip over here. So bear with me, folks. I'm going to play one of my old YouTube videos, and here we go. Now what I need to do is put this up. Welcome to Stephen's Get to Know broadcast, and I have a wonderful interview here coming up for you folks. This is really been a long time in the coming. Been looking forward to this. I have whom I consider to be a very good friend and one of my mentors by far, Evan Carmichael, here with me this evening. And so I want to tell you a little bit about Evan. He is such a dynamic guy. I've actually been listening to his videos for a couple years now. He is super dynamo, and he has motivated me to do a lot of the things that I do to this day, as a matter of fact. So Evan believes in entrepreneurs. At 19 years old, he built and then sold a biotech company, and then biotech software company. And at 22, he got into venture capitalist company, and he was raising funds for companies from anywhere from $500,000 to as much as $15 million. Incredible. So now he runs, though, the biggest YouTube channel in the world. He's got over 2 million subscribers. I know that he's got about 180,000 followers as well on Instagram. And he's written 4 books. He speaks globally. And his whole purpose in life is to solve the world's biggest problem. And that is a lack of confidence in ourselves. And so he helps to build that confidence. And he's written a couple books, or like 4 of them already. And so, really without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce Evan Carmichael. Welcome, Evan.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. Good to be here.
Yes, I'm very pleased that you're with us today. So, boy, he's done a lot of stuff dynamically. I just tell you, I've listened to so many of his videos and I've learned so much. The reason why we have this show is to introduce people that are making a positive impact in society today. And Evan, 100%, you are making a positive impact. You have motivated so many people. And I want you to tell us, though, you decided at a younger age to get out of the software company, to sell out of that. You got into venture capitalism. You were helping people raise funds. And now you built the biggest YouTube channel going on out there. Why did you do that? What prompted you to decide to change and leave something that I guess was working pretty well for you, but you decided to do something different?
So in all honesty, I didn't want to sell the software company.
Oh, there we are.
So I had two business partners,
Uh-huh.
and as you build companies in different industries, what you realize is every industry goes through expansion and contraction, expansion and contraction. And so what was happening in our industry was consolidation, which meant a lot of the big companies were coming in and buying up a lot of the small companies. And so it was going from having lots of little players to then, 3, 4, 5 big players. And then what ends up happening in the industry is then after a couple of years of 3, 4, 5 big players, there's a lot more innovation, and then you get lots of little companies again. And the industries go through these cycles. And so we were going through the cycle of consolidation where big companies were buying up little companies. I had a little company. I wasn't the giant company at the time. And my business partners wanted to sell. And part of the motivation was being able to move to California because I'm Canadian, born in Toronto, Canada, and we can't just go to the U.S.
Right.
and live there. So they wanted to move to California, and it was this decision to either do it now, or the next time this might happen, where this wave of consolidation might be in another 8 years. And so they didn't want to wait that long. I wanted to ride this out. I saw a huge opportunity in the business, lots of growth, anyway, I didn't want to get in the way of my partners enjoying their life. And so it became much more about a personal decision than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sold. They went with the company to California. I stayed here in Toronto and honestly didn't know what to do next. I didn't have a vision mapped out for myself. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I joined the venture capital company because I was always curious about raising capital. We never had to. We got bought. So we sold our company before we had to raise capital. But we were in talks to potentially raise capital. It's either go raise capital and build this big company or get acquired now. And so those were our decisions. So we went get acquired. And so because I was curious about raising capital, I bounced around a bunch of things, but then I ended up hooking up with a venture capital company just for my own interest in education. So yeah, great first question. I don't know that I've been asked that before.
Okay, that's excellent.
We're getting to know me, right? That's the whole theme.
That's the whole idea, is to get to know, the decisions that you made that have put you in where you are right now in your position. I know that you kind of have referred to yourself in the past as an introvert and somebody that that wanted to keep to themselves to a great degree, and yet you're such a huge public figure. How does that work for you?
So I still am an introvert.
Oh,
Even now, I think when you figure out your mission, it demands that you step out of your comfort zone and play a bigger game. I think I always thought of being an introvert as a negative, but I've turned it into a strength in that I think if you're an introvert, you're a great listener. If you're an introvert, you don't need to be the center of attention. And so you could put the mission, your purpose, as the center of attention. It has held me back in the past in terms of willingness to share my story. I always felt, why would you want to hear my story when I'm profiling Steve Jobs or, giant people? Like, what did I do? Sure, I sold my first business, but it's nothing compared to what all these other people have done. And so, going on stage still makes me nervous, gives me anxiety. All the next big things that I want to do are scary, and I think that's good. I think it should be scary. So I'm an introvert. Networking events give me stress, and yet I get up every day and I go off and pursue my mission.
Well, that's part of it too. Is that you talk about stepping out of that area of fear that we have, and overcoming that fear, so that we can go out there and achieve the dreams that we want, instead of limiting ourselves and saying, well, I don't think I can do that. And so I think that what you do a lot is to ask people to stretch their limits and step outside that box and face their fears head on. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I think self-love comes from doing difficult things. I think the big problem that people face is they don't have enough self-love, self-confidence, self-belief, self-respect, because they're not doing enough things that make them proud of what they're doing. So I've got a new book coming out. It's called Built to Serve. It's right here, Built to Serve.
That's awesome.
I think humans are built to serve. You want to serve others. You want to help others. Your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggled the most with, you want to help other people through. But because we're afraid of judgment And because we're afraid of not being perfect, and because we're afraid of what people will say about us, we're not afraid of failing. We're afraid of failing in front of other people. So because we have that judgment, this becomes the challenge of that. You want to help others. You're built to serve. Every human, even if you're introverted, wants to serve, but you're afraid of judgment and failing in front of others. So those two don't mesh well together. Because if you want to go off and help somebody, it requires somebody else. But if you're worried about their judging of you, then you don't do it. And so you have your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time, knowing that you're capable of more, but not moving because you have that fear. And so what I've tried to teach myself, and then now because it's work to try to teach other people, is as soon as you feel yourself being afraid of something, then you have to go off and do it. Just because. And expect to suck and expect to fail. Now, I'm sure when you first did your first live stream of showing the sunrise in Florida, it was awkward and you were nervous and you didn't know what to do. Like, that's part of the process, you know.
And
that
I can still be nervous too, you know. I can. Absolutely.
And listen, if you have nothing in your life that makes you nervous, you hate your life. It means you're just waking up and doing the same thing every single day.
Right.
And so it's being able to recognize that it's making you nervous and not give yourself an out, and not give yourself a logical reason. You could have not done it. You could have said, well, I don't want to wake up that early, or, well, I don't know how to use Facebook or Instagram, or I don't know how to use these technologies, right? You could have had a million reasons, and they're all true. But really the deep down reason is you're just afraid. And you, me, everybody, you're just afraid. And so trying to recognize that and then step through it. And then once you do it, it's not as difficult to go off and do again. And for me, having the purpose, knowing that I'm here, I'm built to serve, and so are you, and so is everybody listening, watching, hopefully gives you the strength to push through and say, I'm capable.
Yes, and see, that's what I did too. Is that part of my routine was getting up. I get up early, but listening to your motivational and inspirational videos and learning from some of the most influential people in the world. That you've interviewed, and you've compiled information on them, and I've seen the transformation actually in yourself, going from that to you being the person that's out there. In a real personal manner, helping people. Now you've got this new book. I'm really looking forward to that coming out. I'm really excited about getting my copy. I know, it's so awesome, and I do agree. We are built to serve, and so with respect to that, you put together a Facebook group, and there's an opportunity for people to reach out like I did, and got involved in that Facebook group, and you're interacting with us and giving us your advice. And I just find that so dynamic, and so and that's in a big way, a big pay it forward, I think, for the community, honestly, is to share that wealth and knowledge, with us. Absolutely.
Yeah, so the book is in pre-order right now. It comes out March 17th. I don't know when you're releasing, this video, but probably before March 17th. So
yes,
as a part of the process is anybody who pre-orders the book also gets access to a private Facebook group where I'm there, my team is there, other amazing entrepreneurs who are built to serve and have a purpose are there, and we do regular sessions together. In that before the launch, it's once a week. After the book comes out, it's going to move to once a month. So there's a bonus to pre-ordering, so you get involved. But I think a lot of people, they don't have other people to talk to about their crazy ideas. You talk about your purpose to your friends and your family, and they're like, what? People they don't get it. Most people are so locked into their life and they almost gave up. Like, a lot of people have just kind of given up and resigned themselves to the life that they have, as opposed to trying to go off and create something different. People might look at you and say, you're gonna what? You're gonna wake up before the sun comes out and live stream the sunrise with a meditation? Are you crazy, Stephen? Right? Like, it's
yeah.
And everybody has those, those kinds of ambitions and dreams, but chances are the people around you don't really understand what you're doing. They may be supportive, they may not be, but they don't know how to kind of give you advice. And so the point of having the group too is to have this community, the global community of people who are all trying to pursue their mission, their purpose, have an impact, and not in an entrepreneurial way. And so you learn from me, my team, but also just the motivation to be around like-minded people.
It is. It's the community in that group. I know that it is, and we all support each other. And I know that I put videos in there and gotten excellent feedback as a result of that. And that is part of it, is surrounding yourself with the people that you want to be like. And so that's what I did a couple of years ago. And that's why I'm following you, because you're the kind of people that I like to learn from and want to be around. I want you to tell our viewers about Believe, because we believe, and how you came up with Believe Nation, and that is your one word, and that was your previous book, correct?
Yeah. So my first book is your one word. It's down here. The idea is you have a single most important core value. When you understand what that is, it allows you to live a life with a lot more focus and purpose. So my most important core value is Believe. And when you figure that out, and the book guides you through it, but really just think about all of the best moments in your life. What is a common theme throughout them? So what's your favorite movie and why? What's your favorite book and why? Which person do you, if you're watching a video, like, who would you want to learn from and why? What is it about them? What did you love about your parents? All of these things. There's a common thread between all the things that make you come alive. And you figure that out, you can now design a life with a lot more intent than just hoping good things happen to you. So Believe is a through line for me, and all of the content that I do, even this interview, I'm trying to bring more belief. I may not do it, but it's always my intention. It's always my goal.
Exactly. And my one word being empowerment, between the believing in yourself, like you're talking about, and the empowerment, the taking action part of it. That's what it's really about.
Yeah.
Because I say this, everything starts with this thought, but we have to take that thought and we actually have to have an action plan. And the more, not to spend a lot of time on the action plan, because we can get caught with that and spending too much time in the planning than the doing, because it might create a situation where, oh, that's right, I can't do that. And so you have to get rid of those self-limiting thoughts. Now, what would you tell the listeners if they were thinking about, starting their own business and getting involved in something that they're passionate about? And like you said, you talked about that a platform can be found, our strength can be found from our most difficult situations that we experience. What recommendations, what advice would you give the viewers about starting their own business?
So being an entrepreneur, being in business, is really just about giving people value. The more value you can provide people, the more money you're going to make. You have been through a struggle. People listening, watching, right? And the point of the book, Built to Serve, is to help you figure out what your purpose is, but then also to turn it into a business that you can serve other people through and also make money. I think a lot of people, even when they find their purpose, they struggle because it becomes this part-time hobby that they're doing in the evenings and weekends, because they can't figure out how to make money doing it. And so you have some job that you may find is okay, or you may absolutely hate, and you're doing your purpose on the evenings and weekends. I think if you found it, you have a responsibility to turn that into something that can make you money, so you can do it full time, and then bring on a team of people. Because imagine if you had a company that you're now building and you got 5, 10, 100 people in your business, all doing something that's going to help build this purpose up, versus you just working evenings and weekends part-time doing it. The impact that you're going to have is going to be much greater. So whatever problem that you went through, who you used to be, you've come through a battle, you've come through a war, you've grown a lot in the past X number of years from when you were at your lowest low. You're not done growing. There's still a lot more that you have to go and do, but you've come through a lot. There's a lot of people who currently are what you used to be. There's a lot of people who are currently suffering with what you really suffered with. They need help. It's your purpose to help them. And if you help them solve the problem, you should get paid to do it. So then you can help more people, and you can bring on a team and help even more people, right?
Exactly.
So that's the concept. Not everybody necessarily needs to go off and be an entrepreneur, but it's designed around people who are entrepreneurial minded, so that you could turn your purpose into something that makes you money as well.
Well, I think so many people do think about getting into their own business and being their own boss, but not everybody is necessarily cut out to do that, because it does take a lot of planning, and more than that, it takes a good team. takes a really good team to be able to do that. Now you've got quite a good team surrounding you. I know that. I've gotten to know a few of them as well. It's really awesome. The community part, I think, is an important factor. Now, I've been slowly working at developing what I'm doing. I mean, I'm truly honored and humbled that you're here with me doing this interview. This is really awesome, and I appreciate that. Because I'm looking towards, I know that I'm built to serve. I'm looking towards helping, like you said, because I'm going to use your dreaming big concept of millions of people. I want to help millions of people find it within themselves to actually release that self-limiting thinking, to learn to love themselves, and then take action on their dreams and goals, and make their life a higher quality. And because of it, I've been blessed. I mean, it started a few years ago, but now I've got a foundation that's a nonprofit that we're going to try and be this resource for people, and then help those people that want to help themselves. That's the key part. They got to want to help themselves. Now, I want to also mention this. The viewers might notice that there's a Doritos bag right there.
Yeah.
Right
there.
And that Doritos bag is always in the videos. And the other thing I'll mention is that he always stands up and he's on a trampoline. I'm almost certain of it right now.
Yeah. I gotta hold myself on the desk when I do interviews like this, because if you put it, I'm usually, this is my computer in front of me here, and I'm usually like just bouncing around all day while I'm typing. So when I'm doing interviews, I usually hold on to the desk so that I don't distract the viewers, because like, what is wrong with this guy? But when you're on I believe movement is medicine, and when you're on a trampoline, you can't help but move, as opposed to what most people do is sit down all day, and which is
yes,
really bad for you. So I love the trampoline. It started as an experiment. The stand-up desk started as an experiment, but then transitioned to the trampoline desk. The Doritos bag, I want to eat those all the time.
Right.
People who are fans of my channel keep asking me, are you like, is Doritos sponsoring your videos? Like, they're not sponsoring me. I don't have any contacts there.
They should.
Yeah, well, maybe not, because my strategy is called Damn the Doritos, not
This is true.
I don't know if they want to be a part of that. Maybe Doritos, whoever their biggest competitor, might sponsor me, but it's called Damn the Doritos because I want to eat these all day long. And back to our initial discussion at the top, we're talking about self-love. Self-belief comes from doing difficult things. That to me is really difficult. Having this here is really difficult. So when people are on a diet or trying to get healthy, the common advice is get rid of the junk food from your house. And I think that's a good first step. I think it's a crutch. Like, if you break your leg, you're going to be on crutches for a little bit, but your ultimate goal should be to walk again, to not be on crutches for the rest of your life. So for people who then get rid of junk food from their house, as soon as they go on a vacation or office party or something, they're just eating all of the junk. Because you've taught yourself that you can't handle it unless you're in the perfect environment. And so I want to, at least for myself, for some people, I'm starting to hook more people into it. I think it's really crazy. I think it's really effective, but it's a very weird, crazy strategy. So even the thought that I can't handle being around Doritos destroys me. And so I need to show myself that I'm capable of it. And so I have it right here in front of me. So it's here all day long, every day. And it's been fun to watch other people do it. I don't prescribe it necessarily as advice yet, because you have to be like really ambitious and really ready to break your limiting beliefs. And most people aren't. But I had a guy who's Leron, good friend, who was trying to cut sugar out of his daily diet, no sugar. And he loves sugar in his coffee. That was his thing, like morning coffee, cream and sugar. And he wants to get rid of the sugar. So he has this, he took a picture, posted on Twitter, where he's got like this, he's got a cup, and I've got, shout out to Florida, I got my Disney cup here. So he's got, I know you're not in Orlando, but it's still Florida.
It is. Happiest place on earth, anyways.
He's got his cup and he's got his saucer underneath, right, for his coffee. And then he'll take 2 packs of sugar and put it next to the coffee cup on the saucer, and just leave it there and not open it. And then just pick up his coffee, drink it, and put it down. And his wife thinks he's crazy, right? But I can't tell you the feeling of when you see the thing that you really want to do, you really want to eat it, and you know it's, you know, you don't actually want, it's not good for your health, but it's right there in front of you, and you look at it, and then you put it down. It's such a high. People will bring me Doritos, and if they're eating it at a party or something, I'll take the bag. Like, I'll take this bag, right? Like, if this was open, right? Somebody had it. I'll take the bag and I'll bring it right next to my face and just go. Just take like the biggest, most luxurious smell in, and just imagine in my mouth, I'm like drooling I just, and then I look at the bag, open my eyes, and I put it right back down.
That's excellent.
And the high that you get of self-confidence to know that you're stronger than, because damn the Doritos, I'm stronger than the Doritos.
Yeah.
And to do that for your thing. A friend of mine, Mark Drager, he's been on the, we have a podcast together. His vice is the Peak Freen cookies, where it's like the raspberry inside and the layer of cream. And so he did that. I said, Mark, here's what you need to do. Go buy like 8 boxes of Peak Freen cookies, 8 boxes, and then and bring them to the office and stack them on your desk, and then open one and just breathe in the essence of those cookies, and then put it down and walk away, and just know, and then celebrate that you did that. Like this thing that used to own you, you just did that. And so that's maybe a super foreign concept for a lot of people, and is a very weird duck strategy. But you build your self-belief, self-respect, self-love by doing difficult things like that.
Exactly. And it's born out of routine, is it not?
I think yes. Like, definitely identifying the things that make you nervous, scared, afraid. And as soon as you can, most of the time it's just subconscious. Most of the time you don't even notice it. But turning that into a routine where you say, as soon as I feel anxiety, nervousness, fear, especially when it's somebody else's opinion too, then teach yourself you have to go off and do that thing just because.
That's excellent. Yeah. Well, I know that you've got a very busy schedule, and I want to say thank you so very much for taking time to join us. Have you got any, I'll give you the last few minutes or whatever amount of time you want to share with us.
First, I want to know what's written on the board behind you. This is awesome, colorful fish. I love the fish, but I can't read what's behind you. So what does that say?
It's terrible that it reverses it. It says normal is just a setting on the washing machine.
I like that.
That's what it says.
I like it. It doesn't reverse it. I can see it.
Oh, can you see it properly there?
Yeah. It's not bold enough, or my eyes aren't good enough to be able to actually to read it. But
normal is just a setting on the washing machine. You know, I consider. Yeah, you say crazy. Yeah, I guess I am in a lot of ways. But you know what? I'm willing to take risks, and that's the thing.
And listen, and that's a great final message, right? Like, normal is just a setting on a washing machine. You don't want to be normal. You don't want to be normal. Nobody watching this actually wants to be normal. Exactly. The problem is you're afraid of not fitting in. You're afraid of being rejected. You're afraid of being judged. But if you want an abnormal life, if you want to be unique, that requires other people who also hate their life. They're going to have some judgment against you. And so it's hard to see on a day-to-day basis, but imagine your life in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. If your life is exactly the same, if you're still normal in 10 years, how painful is that? It should be massively painful. Like, if you're just photocopying your day every day, on a day-to-day basis, it may not be that bad, but imagine 10 years of the same thing, of the same normal life, knowing that you're capable of more, but being too afraid to act. And 10 years worth of that should be so painful that it pushes you to go off and do something, whether it's have Doritos, in your office, whether it's wake up in sunrise and do a meditation, like whatever the crazy thing is that you have in mind, to teach yourself that you do crazy things, that you love difficult things, and you're going to take action immediately on it and feel empowered.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. So you have yourself a great day. Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you, Evan, and have a wonderful day, huh?
Thanks, Stephen. Much love, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Hello, everybody. All right. I just need to get rid of that. And coming back here. It was a little tough, but I tell you what, that was really awesome. I was very blessed to have Evan be on my show, and he brought up some great points. I do want to go over them. I put Doritos here, but you know what? The Doritos are something that, um, damn the Doritos, right? We want to eat them, but we don't eat them. Why don't we eat them? Because we know they're not good for you, and you put on a bunch of weight, and who knows what they've got in them these days, right? But they do taste good. Everything that tastes good doesn't mean it's really good for you. So you want to be careful about that. The concept is, um, overcoming the urge to do something that has become a habit for you, and then not doing that because you know that that's not healthy for you. It's not moving you forward. And that's what this is all about, moving forward. And you have to take a chance. You I use a couple hashtags. I started them years ago. Well, now there's like a ton of them, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views of the hashtag overcome obstacles, hashtag breakthrough barriers. We need to overcome the obstacles that have been stepping in our way so that we can break through the barriers, move forward, not be upset because we might have failed. That failure was really the opportunity to learn and to grow. And that's coming from a person that did not take that at heart. I tried doing the same thing over and over again. And it nothing changed because of course, why would it change? It's always been the same way. Um, I just have come to a point in my life that I'm so happy to be alive. I'm happy to have friends like Evan Carmichael, friends like John Bentley, friends like Robert Brooker, um, so many friends. It's just like I'm very blessed. And so what I've done is create this foundation. That's one of the things that I did. Um, Evan inspired me to take the next step, and I did. I was at the time I started with the Sunrise Daybreakers Tribe videos. Watch for them because they're coming back. All right, because that was a major thing that I had done. It was a major fear to begin with, but when we start our day with the sunrise coming up, we go from darkness to light. That's what this is about. It's about the light, and it's about shining the light. And we all have that light within us. You do. The next person does. Everybody has the light. When we shine our light bright, we can make somebody else's day happier. And having gratitude, and knowing that random acts of kindness makes such a big difference for people. Um, and I've done it, people that you don't even know, just like, hi, how are you doing? I hope you have a good day. They might think that we're weird, or they might go, whoa, what are you doing? It's like, you know what? I'm just being kind. And maybe it'll put a big smile on somebody's face, right? So a random act of kindness, certainly, get out. If you can get up earlier, go watch the sunrise. I've done hundreds and hundreds of videos in the past doing the sunrise, and I want to get back into it because it has big meaning, bringing in the light of the new day. Um, Darkness is black. There's nothing there. Um, Daytime is light. God made that for a reason. I know that he did, so that we could enjoy, um, the daytime, the light. We can shine the light. We will be better people for it. You might be struggling. I hope you're not, but if you're struggling, that's where possibly I can help, because it's not just me, really. I know what I know, um, but I know only what I know. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot of people that can help you. And I'm planning to have a safe home. I decided to call it a safe home so that we can have a place for the homeless people, for the mental health, and for the cancer communities to have a home instead of being homeless. I was homeless, but you know what? I decided I didn't want to go camping for a lifestyle. It is a tough way to go, and complacency is what I've seen out there. And because you have to justify what you're doing, right? And so, yes, you get to the point where it's like, oh, I'm okay being homeless, and give me a six pack in a ditch, and I'm a happy man. That's what a guy told me. It's like, holy cow, you know. I'd rather have indoor plumbing and a refrigerator. Truly, I would. I love to camp. I do. And I love to fish. And we all should. Getting out in nature is healing. And seeing the sunrise is healing. But the point is, Evan made a major impact in my life. He still does. I still watch his videos. I would highly suggest that you do, because he has videos. They're top 10. He has multiple channels. The top 10 are absolutely phenomenal. Recently, Greg Braden, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. So awesome, because I am definitely into understanding more, and he knows more as a geologist. He knows about the spiritual stuff, and I love him. So I got to know better Elon Musk, Grant Cardone. He just All of the top influencers that you could possibly think of are on his top 10. Go and look at them. They're on YouTube. Evan Carmichael. He talked about finding our purpose. Our purpose is very important. I found my purpose. My purpose is to be a servant to the community. That's what my purpose is. Do I have a regular day job? I do. But you know what? My real purpose in life is to help the guy on the street, the person that just came out of a I'm not thinking of the right word. Let's just say a crisis center, or someone that's got cancer. I want to help those people with a safe home, and I'm going to do it. And that is my purpose, to be a servant for God, to help people, and become selfless, because all of our lives we're taught to, like, want stuff, be something, be somebody, have something. That's just all material stuff. It doesn't really matter in the long run. I'm working on my future in heaven. That's what I'm working for. And if you can find your purpose, if you love your job, that's not having a job, because you love what you do. Have a team. A team is very important to achieve your goals. Help others. That's what Evan said. Help others. That's what I'm doing. So I'm in the help others category, and that makes me feel good. I'm happy that I do. Movement is medicine. We've got to get up and move, take a walk, work out, go to the gym, whatever you think you need to do. Having self-love. We need to love ourselves so that we can love the next person better. So you might be going, oh, self-love, right? I'm such an idiot and all this stuff. Well, I thought that about me before for a long decades. Yeah, that's a long time. But what I realize is that I am special and you're special and you're unique and that we all have the love of God. And no matter, if it's not God, it's, I suggest a higher power. Um, when we have that, it makes our life better, period. And what we get when we learn to love ourselves and not hate ourselves, because I did not like myself for a long time. I overcame that. These are the tape player going over and over. Something happens, then I act like this. Something happens, I act like this. They say that it's when you're young, but I'll tell you what, you can change your tune at any point that you want. But it takes action. You have to take action. You have to put a good routine behind it. Eat healthily. Meditation is extremely good. I've led the meditations before and I didn't even know what I was doing. That's what he talks about. Well, just do it. And so I did. I just did it. I've learned a lot more about how to do the meditations better because it comes from here. When it comes from your heart, it makes such a difference in your life. And know that no matter what choices you might have made in the past, none of that matters. If God was willing to die, or Jesus was willing to die on the cross for us to save us from our sin, you're now forgiven when you accept Jesus as your Savior. And it's easy. All you have to do is say, Lord, forgive me for my sins. I want to honor you. And it can be done that simply. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to do it and say things. But you know what? When you decide to love yourself enough, then you're going to do things like that. And you're going to find that love and you're going to find gratitude and you're going to find happiness. So I'm talking about the things that we need to do. We need to overcome the fears. And I do like that sign that I had, I tell you. Normal is just a setting on the washing machine. It does the same thing over and over and over. It washes the clothes. Doesn't do anything else. It just does that. When we decide that we want to step outside the box and overcome a fear, don't let the fear hold you back. Overcome the fear and take a step forward and go, you know what? I'm just going to give this a shot and see what happens. Then your life will change. You've already changed it when you did that. And when you disrupt the constant, I want to do this. Well, you might want to do things. I wanted to do a lot of stuff. But you know what? I had to say, well, no, you don't need to do a lot of stuff. Damn the Doritos, right? Thank you, Evan. Because we just sometimes have to say no. And when we say no, that's empowering. Very empowering. To try to say no. Try to overcome whatever might be going on in your life. Know that you're loved. Know that you can reach out to the LWN Foundation and either I can help you or someone I know can help you, period. I know a ton of people in a bunch of different aspects of needing help. And a lot of them I got myself because they had to teach me first a bunch of stuff so I can help you. And that's what I want to do. Remember that I did the sunrise videos, the sunrise daybreakers. Watch for them because I've got a big plan because we are going to shed the light together. Because remember, teamwork? Yeah. Having a team is a critical part of having a business, if you want the business, right? Even in life, just having friends. Well, you got to be nice and have a team and be kind and be considerate. Those are all really important factors. Awesome. I see that Robert's with us and Jason Daniel Alarm. And you know what? I want to thank all of the viewers. There's people that are watching. I don't even know who's watching in the end, I just want you to know that you can have a great life. Thinking that you want to have a great life is where you start. After you thought that thing, then you need to do some kind of a business plan. Is it a business plan for business? Well, it might be. Is it a business plan for your life? Could be. Start writing things down. I like starting at the top. This is what I want to achieve. Let's give it an example. I want to quit eating as much ice cream, and this is a real thing for me, okay? I don't want to quit eating ice cream because it's good. But what I do need to do is cut back. So that means when I go for the ice cream next time, I say, no, I don't need it this time. And all of a sudden, you're eating less ice cream. And you've overcome that. And the more I do it, this is where consistency, determination, dedication makes the difference. We have to be consistent. You have to do it day in, day out. Get some mentors. If you don't have a mentor, get a good mentor. People like Evan. People like Evan. People like Elon Musk. I don't care. I went and got the top people I could think of, Elon Musk and Evan. And I ended up with Evan because the Elon Musk stuff was with Evan. When you will be like the 5 best friends that you have. And even if you don't know them personally, that's okay. Getting the information from them, doing it day after day, just like I do too. Every day I do the same thing, pretty much. Does it sound boring? Well, no, it's not boring because I got God. That's why it's not boring. But same thing. Wake up, say a prayer, immediately thank God, be grateful, thank Him for everything that He's provided in my life. Before I ever, look at the phone, I talk to God first. Then I'll put a spiritual video on. Then I'll put a Stoic virtual video on. Then after that, I'll look at social media, and because my friends are important to me. And if I haven't reached out to you lately, just know that I care about you. I think about you, and I'm doing the best I can. I can't spend too much time because I have the full-time job and I have the LWN Live with Nature Foundation. If you want to help me, we need volunteers. Absolutely. I'm building a big deal here. We're going to have the safe home, and we're going to can't really let it out yet because it's so huge. It is going to be, I think I'm going to probably get Ripley's Believe It or Not thing. And we're going to have an awesome thing, and we are going to light the world with the love of the Lord and the opportunity to transform our lives to become better people. And when we're kind, and when we're considerate, and when we can not say the things that we might think, we are a better man or a better woman. Period. And that's what I want for us. I want to thank everybody for taking time to come and join me. I carried on a little bit, but I had Evan Carmichael, and I'm going to have him back too. I've been working on that for a while, but he is a busy man. But you know what? That just goes to tell you, that's an example. You want something bad enough, you can have it. Try different things till you get to the point where it happens. Patience is a virtue. It truly is. Thank you, everybody. I truly love you guys. Have a great weekend, right? Also, yes, it is going to be a weekend. Then there's Monday. I do these videos Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on back. We're going to take a break now for the close. I'm going to go ahead, if I can get it in front of me, run a commercial and then run the ending video. I want you to know that you are blessed. And if you need refinishing, we are the best. Just got to tell you that. Safe, non-toxic porcelain glaze for your bathtub tile, for your countertop, for your sink, for your fiberglass tub. That's what I did today. Or no, what? I don't even remember. I did a regular tub today. Hey, we're here for you. All right. Love you. We'll see you on Monday, 7 p.m. Have a great, great weekend. God bless you.
We let our bathtub go too long. It had rust in it. It had deep pitting in it. There were chips. I, quite frankly, thought it was unrepairable.
Total Coatings is a family-owned and operated bathtub and shower refinishing company. We've been around since 2006, but we use a exclusive non-toxic porcelain coating that was developed over 60 years ago by a franchise in California. So the product is very well established. We refinish bathtubs, showers, wall tile, countertops, and even sinks. Customers want to know what makes our product different, and that's, of course, the exclusive non-toxic porcelain. We also don't acid etch the surface, so you don't have to leave your home because of noxious fumes.
I was completely and utterly shocked. It looked like a brand new bathtub. I would recommend Total Coatings to anybody.